What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Sports. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, settle in. Let's talk about the Warriors. Feel a lot better about them today than I did 2 days ago. Steph Curry was held without a three-pointer in the previous game, but now against the T-Wolves, they came back and won the game 113-103, and it seemed like they dominated for most of the game. It got close a few times with the T-Wolves taking the lead, I believe, once in the game, maybe twice, but overall, the Warriors dominated that game with great defense, and that has been the emphasis from the beginning of this season. So there has been a lacking of defense in the last 5 to 10 games. I could see that, and that is a big part of why the Warriors had lost quite a few games. I think they lost 10 out of the last 11, but they came back and got a win last night, and a lot of that was the great defense that we saw against the Timberwolves, who can score very, very quickly. They're a good team, and it was a good win for the Warriors to get back on top. Let's go over the numbers a little bit. Steph Curry leading the way, 34 minutes, 3 rebounds, 10 assists, and 31 points. He was 7 for 16 at three-point range, which was pretty good. He could probably do a little bit better, but at the same time, not bad for Steph Curry. Trayce Jackson-Davis was in for 26 minutes. He had 9 rebounds, 2 assists, and 15 points. A good day by Trayce Jackson-Davis. Solid player. He showed up in the second and third quarter and got some much-needed 2-point shots, just a few dunks, brought some energy, and he really, really wanted that game last night. You could see it. Kyle Anderson had 17 minutes. 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and only 3 points, but he still had great defense that night. Andrew Wiggins, 29 minutes, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 9 points. Andrew Wiggins was a little bit flat last night. He couldn't really find a shot for part of the first and second quarter. He made a few going through into the third and fourth quarter, and his defense is always really, really great, so that's where we have the strong suit with Andrew Wiggins. He does score a lot this year. He's back to being his old ways of Andrew Wiggins from the championship championship season, but last night he struggled a little bit on scoring, but defense was there, and Dennis Schroeder is starting to gel a lot more with the Warriors, and I'll tell you why I think that was a great move. Some people think it was not that great of a move because he may not fit. I believe somebody quoted Draymond Green saying Green didn't think he fit with the team. I don't know if that's true, if he said that or not. I disagree with that, and I'll tell you why shortly, but Dennis Schroeder, 28 minutes, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and 9 points. He's starting to fit in a little bit. Kuminga came in, 23 minutes, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 11 points. Kevon Looney, 22 minutes, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and 5 points. And Buddy Hield, 21 minutes, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 11 points. Gary Payton II came in and provided some great defense, a few blocks, some really good rebounding at the point when we needed it, when we started to kind of lose the lead. So Gary Payton came in, very, very essential asset to this team, I believe, off the bench. 21 minutes, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 7 points. Not bad. Pajemski is starting to get out of the woods a little bit as well. 20 minutes. Playtime, rebounds 7, assists 1, and 12 points. And those are your scorers. We won this game with the defense. We actually showed up and scored some points as well, guys, but the Warriors have to emphasize their wins first with the defense and scoring second because they don't have prolific scorers on this team. We can see that these guys are actually relying a lot on Steph Curry to be the scorer night in and night out, and he can't do that. He's being double covered. People are asking if he's lost a step, if he is not the same Curry, if his days are numbered, if he should think about retiring. None of that. The point is, he is being double covered nightly. Sometimes a third guy will come in and blocks him out if nobody else is scoring that night, which is happening sometimes. So we need a guy who can threaten the other team with scoring on the regular if they leave him alone, i.e. Dennis Schroeder. We got Dennis Schroeder for a reason. He's one of the best mid-range shooters in the league. He fits with this team for a very good reason. He's going to take that pressure off Steph Curry, and he's going to make people guard him, okay? He's a guy who can hit the mid-range every time he puts it up just about. He is a very, very accurate shooter. He's a good ball handler. He's a great point guard, and he's going to take attention away from Curry. He's going to have to. He demands it, and if not, he's just going to score at will, and that's what we need for this team. I like the move. The Warriors didn't go out and get a splashy, flashy guy. And I don't know if that person was even out there. But Schroeder is a very, very good player for the money. That's what they got without giving up the farm. I like it. I like the move. I think he's going to play very well with this team. I think it's just going to take a few games to gel, and they got that win against Minnesota, who is a very, very good team. It's the Minnesota Timberwolves, guys. They have, some good players. Julius Randle is still playing well, even though he's older. Rudy Gobert is soft, but still out there making an impact. And of course, they have Anthony Edwards, who is going to be the face of this NBA when Curry and LeBron James are gone, no doubt in my mind. Very difficult to stop. This team is a playoff team in the making, and the Warriors went out and got that win, which was a much-needed win, and I think we can bounce off that and start putting together some wins. And it starts with the pressure coming off Curry, and like I said, Schroeder does that. There are other players on this team that are doing very well. I will still point to Andrew Wiggins, who is scoring very well on the regular, and his defense is good. But he does have those cold nights where when he starts off cold, teams kind of get a sense of it, and they don't trust he's going to make a shot, and he doesn't, and then that's when Steph Curry has a harder time. There's no other player on this team who can threaten with scoring if left alone on a regular basis. So is there another move to be made? Maybe. I say that there's another move to be made if the deal's right. I would not give up the farm. I've said that a few times. I'm saying it again now. I don't think that giving up 2 or 3 of your bench players for one guy or a superstar, which wouldn't even be enough. The Warriors would have to give up picks as well, which I definitely don't want to do. They've given up enough picks as it is. So I think great win. I'm excited about seeing them turn it around. I believed that they would turn it around. I think this is the beginning of that. And like I said, December is one of the hardest months on the Warriors schedule, the hardest month on the Warriors schedule, as a matter of fact. And the next 2 months do get lighter. So we should see the Warriors go and string together a few wins going forward and put themselves back up in the top 4 or 5. I really believe that. And are they a championship team? We keep talking about that. That remains to be seen. It's hard to say. It doesn't look like it on paper, but anybody can get into the playoffs and string together wins and shock the world. And I think the Warriors are a team that can do that with a coach like Steve Kerr. Remember, Steve Kerr gets into 7-game series in the playoffs and he doesn't lose very many. He figures the other team out pretty quickly. Even if the Warriors get a loss or 2 in that series, they key in and target on the areas of weakness from the other team, and they end up getting those wins and moving on. So just remember, the last championship the Warriors won, nobody thought that they were going to win that. No chance. Klay Thompson had just come back. He wasn't very impactful in the playoffs. Curry had to basically put that team on his back. Kevon Looney was huge in those playoffs. Andrew Wiggins was huge in those playoffs. But it still was a shocker to the world that they got another one. I think that same type of thing can happen here, guys. It's the team on paper, the roster is looking good. And I've mentioned the roster many, many times. I'm not going to go over it again. But you just heard the stats of players that I told you that are solid, that can really be role players and getting Steph Curry that next ring, and some of them getting their first. Kuminga's already got one. So, good on him. Maybe he'll get another one here next year or this year. We'll see. But Dennis Schroeder doesn't have one. He wants one. And then you have Trayce Jackson-Davis in his second year, who's playing very solid basketball. Not the quickest guy, but very effective. You saw it last night when he was driving to the rim to get buckets. He was hard to guard and kind of unstoppable for the most part for the Timberwolves. And if the Timberwolves have that kind of a problem with him, so will many other teams. So look out for Trayce Jackson-Davis to be a good anchor on this team. Kevon Looney is still playing really good, and Buddy Hield is kind of coming out of the weeds and starting to shoot the three-pointer a little bit better. Not like he was at the beginning of the year, but we will see that, I believe. Gary Payton II is always forgotten about, but he is always around the rim. He's always looking to rebound, and he did that last night in some crucial moments when the Warriors were down by 2 and only up by maybe 2 at the time. Podziemski is coming out of the woods a little bit too. It's about time, but he's tradable. And if you want to talk about pieces that are tradable, Podziemski might be now when the Warriors thought maybe he wasn't in the summertime, right? But I think he's more of a tradable piece, maybe depending on what you get. But there's a few guys I wouldn't trade. I wouldn't trade Hield for his 3-point ability off the bench. I wouldn't trade Looney necessarily. Maybe I'll trade Looney and keep Trace Jackson-Davis if we get another center. So if there's a package deal where you have Looney and maybe Pajemski and maybe a future draft pick for a center, I could see something like that. But aside from that, I wouldn't give up too much off this team because these players are great role players. The guy that's running the team is Steph Curry. When he's gone, I'm not sure if Kuminga will be that guy. But another guy, if not Curry, could step in to a very well-built team. So don't break it up, guys. Don't break it up. So that's what I have to say. It's a long season. Anybody out there that was panicking about that horrible game the Warriors got blown out of 3 days ago, not to worry. Like I said before, and I'm saying it now, a win kind of cures all that. We got that win last night, and let's take it and roll. I do believe the Warriors are going to start putting together some wins going forward, and we'll see what happens with them in the next game. I fully expect the Warriors to go ahead and go on a little bit of a run here. This is a good confidence builder. Let's take a look at the schedule, guys. Let's take a look here and see what we got, okay? So we're still in the month of December, and the next game is against Indianapolis. I do think that's totally winnable for the Warriors. They are a fast-paced team, but if the Warriors can lock down on defense, it's going to be very hard to beat the Warriors if they just stick to locking down on defense, guys. I keep echoing this because it's a strong suit for the Warriors. The top 5 defensively. When you are the top 5 defensively, you don't have to score as many points to win games. And the Warriors are still putting up over 100 points a game most of the night. So if you take a look at what they can do with good defense, they can win a lot of games. They can win a lot of games. So as much as people are talking about offensive firepower, the defense will alleviate some of that need for the offensive firepower, okay? So that's good. And Draymond Green was gone last night. If he was in the game, it might have been a blowout. The Warriors might have just blown these guys out by a lot more. But that being said, they still won, 113 to 103? Yeah. Still a big win, and they were in control of the game most of the time. But let's get back to the schedule a little bit. So let's take a look. We got Indianapolis, which is totally winnable. The Los Angeles Lakers have the same record as the Warriors, but I don't believe for 1 minute they are in the same class as the Warriors. That is definitely a winnable game. The Clippers are a tough team, so I'll give them that. And then we got Phoenix. So we got 2 tough games, and then Cleveland, who's dropped off a little bit, but still very difficult. That's a tough 3-game patch right there. But that ends December. And like I said, once December's over and those tough games are gone, we have some other teams that we can play that are winnable. Not only winnable, I expect them to win. Not just winnable, potentially winnable. I expect them to win those games. Philadelphia, they're pretenders. I believe that. I think the Warriors should beat them. We got Memphis. I think that the Warriors should come back and try and get a revenge game out of that. And then we got Sacramento, Miami, Detroit, Indianapolis again. Those are all must win, not must win, but should win games. Toronto definitely should win. We got Minnesota again. Take it to them one more time, I think. And then even if we get that loss, then we got Washington, Boston, Sacramento, Chicago. Boston's a tough game. We know that. LA Lakers again, Utah, OKC, and Phoenix. I see 3 games that are very, very difficult in the month of January. We got Phoenix, we got Boston, and we have OKC, but we've beaten 2 out of 3 of those teams. So, guys, this team is good. They're going to make the playoffs. Like I said, are they going to win a championship? I don't know. But we owe this team to Steph Curry. So Steph Curry is going to play out his career here, and however way that goes, that's the way we're going to go. And as fans, we need to support that no matter what, because he brought us 4 championships, guys, and he might bring us a 5th. Let's just see. But it's been a really, really fun ride. Let's see if he can keep it going. I have faith. I believe that any team that Steph Curry plays for can win a championship that year for the most part. Yes, he's dropped off. He's getting older, guys. He's 36. Of course, he's getting older. But he still has that impact on the game. So don't take away the fact that even though he's lost a step or 2, he's still a sniper. He can still shoot from anywhere inside the half-court line at any moment and get get hot. He did last night. He got hot in the third and fourth quarter and was just shooting threes and was pretty much unstoppable at that point. So if you watch him, well, just go back to the Olympics. If you think he's lost a step, just go back and watch the Olympics again, guys. He dominated those Olympics, and without him, the USA maybe doesn't win that gold because he is the one that put the USA team on his back and won those last few games. Helped win those last few games, but it was really him. He really did drive the team to a win, a couple of wins. So this guy's not done. He's not done, guys. The Warriors are not done, and I'm excited to see where we go. I still think they're incredibly deep. They got a great roster, and with Schroeder coming in and getting into the starting lineup, I think it's great. He is a very, very formidable shooter. He's good on defense. He's great as a point guard with the ball handling. He doesn't turn the ball over a whole hell of a lot. So that's what the Warriors need to keep it going. And the defense is an emphasis. They have to continue to play defense. You saw it last night when they said enough is enough. We're going to get a win here. Let's play defense. And it was very difficult. It was very difficult for Minnesota to get a shot, a good look at a shot and score. And they did. And they're a very, very good team. They have the future on their team, guys. They really do. So they are not easy to stop, and the Warriors did that. So go Warriors. Let's see how it goes. After disappointing news about Ricky Henderson yesterday, I wanted to watch a Warrior game and see a win and get happy. I am happy that we're back on track. You all should be too. And so we'll see you after the next Warrior game when they play Indianapolis, and I expect another win there, and let's keep rolling. We'll see them move back up into the upper echelon of the conference standings here very, very soon. The numbers prove that they can score, by the way. They just need a guy like Schroeder to come in who will score night in and night out and threaten to score if you don't give him the respect of guarding him. And that will alleviate stress from Steph Curry. And when Draymond's back in and they play together, I think it's going to look good. I think it's going to look good, guys. And the bench is always looking good this year for the Warriors. For the most part, they're looking good. Remember, those 10 losses, they were close. Most of them were close. And most of them, the Warriors had a lead at some point and just couldn't close the door. But that changes with a team over the course of a year. That changes. So those leads that they have, they'll keep them. They'll start to keep them, and they're going to string together wins, and it's going to start happening now. So we get a couple of losses along the way in December. Wouldn't shock me, but it wouldn't shock me for them to just start going on a tear right now as well. Good confidence booster on the road. So we'll see you after the next one, guys. Remember, hard work beats talent when talent don't work. See you in the next one.